Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coins TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos. The 1981 dollar coin of the United States is officially known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, a coin that represents an important moment in American monetary history as well as social history. This coin was part of an effort by the United States government to modernize circulating coinage, reduce the dependence on paper dollar bills, and honor an influential American woman for the first time on a circulating U.S. coin. Although the coin did not achieve widespread popularity in everyday commerce, it remains historically significant and is widely collected today for its symbolism, design, mint varieties, and role in the evolution of U.S. currency. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979, making the 1980 issue the second year of production. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already received strong public feedback about the coin's size, appearance, and confusion with the quarter dollar. Despite these challenges, production continued in 1980 to support government and institutional use, such as vending machines, transit systems, and banks. As a result, large quantities of 1981 dollar coins were struck, though many were never released into full public circulation and instead remained stored in government vaults for years. The creation of the Susan B. Anthony dollar was largely driven by economic and practical concerns. In the 1970s, rising production costs made paper dollar bills increasingly expensive to print and replace, as they wore out quickly compared to coins. Coins, although more expensive to mint initially, last much longer in circulation. The U.S. government believed that replacing the dollar bill with a coin could save millions of dollars over time. The 1981 dollar coin was part of this broader economic strategy. At the same time, there was a growing desire to recognize women who had played a crucial role in American history. Susan B. Anthony, a leader in the women's suffrage movement, was chosen because of her lifelong dedication to securing voting rights for women. Her selection marked a historic milestone, as she became the first real woman, not a symbolic figure like Liberty, to appear on a circulating U.S. coin. The 1980 issue continued this tribute, reinforcing her legacy in the everyday currency of the nation. The obverse of the 1981 dollar coin features a right-facing portrait of Susan B. Anthony, designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo. The portrait is realistic and dignified, showing Anthony with a serious expression that reflects her determination and strength. Her hair is pulled back in a bun, consistent with historical photographs, emphasizing authenticity rather than idealization. Above the portrait appears the word, liberty, a traditional element in U.S. coinage, symbolizing freedom and democratic values. To the right of her face is the motto, "In God We Trust," while the year, 1980, is placed below the portrait. The initials, FG, representing the designer, are subtly included near the neckline. The overall design is clean and modern, intended to reflect both respect for history and a forward-looking approach to American currency. The reverse of the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar is especially symbolic and historically rich. It features an American bald eagle landing on the moon, holding an olive branch. This design was adapted from the reverse of the Eisenhower dollar and commemorates the Apollo 11 moon landing of 1969. The imagery represents peace, technological achievement, and American leadership in space exploration. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions, United States of America, and $1, clearly identifying the coin's value and origin. Above the eagle is the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, emphasizing unity. The combination of a historic woman on the obverse and a powerful national achievement on the reverse makes the 1981 dollar coin unique among U.S. issues. The 1981 dollar coin is composed of a copper nickel-clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition gives the coin a silver-like appearance, which unfortunately contributed to its confusion with the quarter dollar. The coin has a diameter of 26.5 mm and a weight of 8.1 grams, making it only slightly larger than a quarter, though noticeably thicker. The edge of the coin is reeded, another feature shared with the quarter. While these similarities were intended to maintain consistency in U.S. coinage, they became one of the main reasons the public found the coin inconvenient. Nonetheless, from a technical standpoint, the coin was well made, durable, and suitable for long-term circulation, which was one of its primary goals. Philadelphia and Denver produced coins primarily for circulation, while San Francisco struck proof coins specifically for collectors. Proof versions are distinguished by their mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. These proof coins were never intended for circulation and were sold in special packaging by the U.S. Mint. Collectors often seek complete sets containing all three mint marks from 1980. While there are no major rare varieties for this year compared to the famous 1979 wide rim variety, high-grade examples and pristine proofs remain desirable within numismatic circles. By 1980, it was clear that the Susan B. Anthony dollar had not achieved the success the government had hoped for. Many people continued to prefer the familiar dollar bill, and businesses were slow to adapt. As a result, although millions of 1981 dollar coins were minted, relatively few entered daily circulation. Large numbers were stored by the U.S. Treasury and released only gradually over the following decades. Despite its lack of popularity, the coin found a niche in specific applications, such as public transportation systems and vending machines, where coins were more practical than paper money. This limited but consistent use helped keep the coin relevant, even as general public demand remained low. Today, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin is considered a common collectible, especially in circulated condition. Its value is usually close to face value unless the coin is in uncirculated or proof condition. High-grade uncirculated examples, especially those with strong strikes and minimal marks, are more desirable to collectors. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are particularly popular due to their visual appeal and careful craftsmanship. For new collectors, the 1981 dollar coin is an excellent entry point into U.S. numismatics. It is affordable, historically meaningful, and widely available. For experienced collectors, it represents an important chapter in the story of modern American coinage and the ongoing effort to balance tradition, innovation, and public acceptance. The legacy of the 1981 dollar coin extends beyond its monetary value. It represents a bold experiment in U.S. currency design and circulation policy, as well as a landmark moment in honoring women's contributions to American history. Although the Susan B. Anthony dollar was eventually replaced by the larger and more distinct Sacagawea dollar, the lessons learned from the 1980 issue directly influenced later designs and decisions. In historical terms, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar stands as a symbol of progress, experimentation, and recognition. It may not have been loved by the public during its time, but it has earned respect and appreciation among collectors and historians. As such, it remains an important and meaningful piece of America's numismatic heritage. The 1980 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin also holds importance when viewed within the broader timeline of American numismatic evolution, because it reflects a moment when the United States was actively reconsidering how money should function in everyday life. Prior to this period, American coinage had changed slowly and cautiously, often maintaining traditional sizes and designs for decades. The introduction of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, and especially the continued production in 1980 despite public hesitation, demonstrates how strongly policymakers believed in the long-term advantages of coin-based currency. This year shows the government's persistence in pursuing monetary efficiency, even when immediate public acceptance was limited. The 1980 issue therefore represents determination, planning, and a willingness to experiment with national currency policy. From a production standpoint, the 1981 dollar coin is notable because it was struck during a time of advanced industrial minting techniques. By 1980, the U.S. Mint had refined its mass production capabilities, allowing for highly consistent strikes across millions of coins. This means that most 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollars display relatively uniform design features, lettering clarity, and overall structure. However, subtle differences still exist between coins struck at different mints, particularly in sharpness of details such as hair strands, facial contours, and the feathers of the eagle on the reverse. These small distinctions are often studied closely by experienced collectors who seek the highest quality examples. Another significant aspect of the 1981 dollar coin is its role in government storage and release practices. Because public demand was lower than anticipated, vast quantities of these coins were stored in treasury vaults for extended periods. This unusual situation meant that, unlike many older coins that show heavy wear, a large percentage of 1980 dollars remained in near-mint condition for decades after they were struck. When these stored coins were eventually released into circulation in later years, they appeared surprisingly fresh, which sometimes confused the public and led people to believe the coin was newly minted, even though it was already many years old. The proof version of the 1980s Susan B. Anthony dollar deserves special attention due to its craftsmanship and presentation. Proof coins are struck using specially prepared dies and polished planchettes, resulting in exceptionally sharp details and reflective surfaces. The contrast between the frosted portrait of Susan B. Anthony and the mirror-like background creates a visually striking effect that highlights the artistry of the design. These proof coins were sold directly to collectors and were never meant for circulation, which preserved their condition. For many numismatists, the 1980s proof represents the most visually appealing version of the coin produced that year. The educational value of the 1981 dollar coin is another reason it remains relevant today. Teachers, historians, and collectors often use this coin to explain broader themes such as economic decision-making, social change, and technological progress. Through this single coin, one can discuss inflation, production costs, gender representation in national symbols, and the challenges of changing public behavior. The coin serves as a tangible object that connects abstract historical concepts to a physical artifact, making it especially useful for learning and storytelling. When examined closely, the portrait of Susan B. Anthony on the 1980 coin reflects an intentional departure from idealized beauty often seen on earlier coins. Instead of portraying her in a softened or romanticized manner, the design emphasizes realism and strength. This artistic choice aligns closely with Anthony's historical role as a determined reformer who challenged societal norms. In this way, the coin not only honors her achievements but also communicates a message about integrity, perseverance, and equality. The continuation of this design in 1980 reinforced the importance of these values within American cultural memory. The reverse design's connection to the moon landing also gains additional meaning when paired with the obverse portrait. Together, they create a powerful narrative, one side representing social progress on Earth through civil rights advocacy, and the other symbolizing humanity's reach beyond Earth through science and exploration. In the context of the Cold War era and post-Apollo America, this combination of themes reflects national pride, unity, and ambition. The 1981 dollar coin thus becomes more than currency, it becomes a statement about what the nation values and aspires to achieve. From a long-term collecting perspective, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar has proven to be a stable and accessible coin. While it is not rare, its consistent availability and historical significance make it a staple in many collections. Beginners often start with this coin because it is affordable and easy to find, while advanced collectors may seek examples in exceptionally high grades or original government packaging. Over time, interest in this series has grown as collectors reassess its importance within modern U.S. coinage history. In conclusion, the 1981 dollar coin stands as a deeply meaningful artifact that captures a specific moment in American economic, social, and cultural history. Its continued study reveals insights into government policy, artistic choices, technological capability, and public response to change. Though it may not have achieved everyday popularity, its legacy endures through collectors, educators, and historians who recognize its significance. The 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar remains a lasting symbol of progress, experimentation, and the evolving story of American money.